In this video, I'm showing you exactly how to land 4 and 5 figure contracts without needing sales calls. Since 2013, I've generated more than $500 million in revenue for clients and built a profitable copywriting business. An offer doc is super quick and simple to put together, and this is what one looks like. So, as you can see here, so simple. There's like 6 sections to it, and that's it. All that you need to do is add your own logo, you insert the client name, and then you go through and fill out these sections. The reason that I love these offer docs and the reason that they work so well is that the entire focus of it, when the client is looking at it, is seeing the value that you are creating for them as a copywriter. Because the two main pricing problems that copywriters make that keeps them bleeding money is that they either charge per hour, which creates a comparison with other potential copywriters out there so that clients can shop around for something that's cheaper or something that's the same price but is going to be delivered faster. And it puts you in a battle with inflation. So if the cost of living goes up like it has, then you need to increase your prices just in order to stay with that cost of living. But then the clients are going to look at it and be like, well, now it's more expensive, and I've also been hit with the cost of running my business, so I can't justify now paying $80 an hour instead of $50 an hour. So again, I'm going to shop around and look for a cheaper option and a faster option. The other way that copywriters try and price their services is that they look at what other people are doing, and then they go, okay, well, I'm going to charge something similar, maybe a little bit more expensive, maybe a little bit cheaper, but all that does is it positions you right next to every other copywriter. And therefore, again, people are going to shop around for a price that suits them, not a price that suits you, because the framing is wrong when you position yourself that way. When you price this way and use an offer doc, the framing is different. The client is seeing visually, this is the value that's being created for me. This is how much extra revenue I am making, how many extra leads I'm having come in, whatever it is that you're doing for them. They get to see that. And they get to see the changes in very simple, tangible terms. This is what's currently happening. This is the new thing that's going to happen. Okay, I can see it. I can justify it. It makes sense to me. I'm not confused. So this offer document, all that you need to do is get the current data from the client. Okay, so they would have identified a goal. This is what I want to achieve with working with you. The example that I've used here is someone's come to you and said, hey, our conversion rate on our opt-in page sucks. We want to improve it. Can you help us do that? And you go, yeah, because that's what I specialize at as a copywriter, and I'm world class at it. So you identify what the goal is with the client. Increase the conversion rate of the opt-in page to 30%. That's our focus. That's what we're moving towards. Everything we do as a copywriter is going to be increasing that conversion rate. So then you come through and you fill out this table. Okay? It's got current statistics and then new statistics. So this is so the client can see this is where I currently am. This is where we're going to get to with just a few small changes. So the data will change depending on what it is that you're writing, what the goal is, and what different traffic sources the client is using. So what we've got here is that every month this client gets 4,000 people to its opt-in page. They currently market themselves organically, and they run ads. Okay? Each of those 2 marketing channels gives them 2,000 visitors a month. Because we're advertising, there's other costs involved and other data that we want to look at. So they're currently spending $2,000 a month to get those 2,000 visitors, so it costs them $1 per visitor. They're getting 200 clicks per month on their ads, so they're spending $10 to get a click. We know that their landing page conversion rate is 10%. So of these 2,000 people of these 4,000 people that are coming across, they're getting 400 opt-ins. They're currently they're currently closing 15% of those people, so they make 60 sales a month. They sell a $500 product, so they make 30K. Okay, 30K a month. That's the current data. Now what we're showing them is that we can keep everything on the traffic side consistent. Keep spending the same amount on ads, change nothing, keep driving the same organic content there. But if we bump this conversion rate to 30%, we triple the amount of leads, the amount of opt-ins that they get. If we keep the sales conversion rate the exact same, they are now making 180 sales just from increasing the number of opt-ins, the conversion rate on the opt-in page, which is what you're proposing to them to do. They can then see that, okay, an extra 120 sales a month gives them $90,000 in monthly revenue instead of 30. So you're adding an additional 60K a month, which works out to be 60, 120 times 6 is going to be 240, 480, an extra $720,000 a year. And the only thing that's happened is we've bumped this conversion rate up to 30%. And we've created more than $500,000 in annual revenue for them. So because of that, the frame has now been created of what value you're actually delivering this client. You're not just rewriting an opt-in page here and increasing the conversions. You are creating all of this value for the client, and they can now see that. So many copywriters are like, I will write you a 5-part email sequence, okay, that's going to do better than your current one. But inside of this offer doc, if you were doing that, you would say, here's your current open rate and current click rate of your 5-part email sequence. Here's what I'm aiming for. So instead of saying, I'm going to write you a new email sequence, I'm going to get you these stats. I'm going to make these improvements. They're very objective. You can't argue with them. This is where we're going to get to. How I'm going to do it is up to me as a copywriter. That's what I specialize at. But we're not talking and we're not focused on the asset that you're creating. We're focused on the changes that you'll make to the data and what that does to the client's revenue. Okay? What you then do is you then list out what all of the current problems are. So this is you showcasing your authority and your expertise. So you look at the current opt-in page and you go, man, it's way too complex and messy, and visitors are getting confused, which is why they're not opting in. You have a weak offer positioning. There's no compelling reason for someone who gets on the page to opt in now, so people are leaving. Okay? And there's a misalignment between the ads that you're running and the opt-in page that you have. So people are seeing the ad, which is very promise-focused and offer-focused, so they're clicking. But then when they get to the opt-in page, it's all problem-focused, so there's misalignment there. The people that are clicking on the ad are at a higher stage of awareness, so they are product-aware and most aware, but the opt-in page is focused on problem-aware people. So they're like, I got here for an offer, but now you're hitting me with all these problems. Like, I just want to know what's in it for me. And then the additional problems, I include this section because it future focuses the client on what you can do for them next. And it shows them the value there. So this is how you retain clients in the future after you've executed for them with the work that you've already done. So I've got here that the additional problem is that your cost per click is too high. It's currently $10. So the advertisement is giving away too much info. So people aren't clicking because they're getting everything in the ad. Okay? So what needs to happen here is we'll change the creative and change the angle so that they're more problem focused, which is going to speak to a broader segment of the market. And we're going to then lessen the information that's in the ad, which is going to get more people to click. And now that more people have clicked, we've dropped the cost per click down and we're getting more traffic to the opt-in page for the same price, and the opt-in page is converting better. So that's where real scale comes in, which is what I've got here. We increase the opt-in page conversion rate to 30%. And then what we do is we focus on dropping the cost per click to $5, because doing that is going to double the amount of visitors for the same price, and it's going to double revenue while keeping your ad spend the same. That's where if you then want to invest more in ads, we're going to get a lot more out of it. Okay? This additional problem section is, as I said, get them future thinking about, oh God, if we solve this one problem, which is the conversion rate, and then we solve the next problem after that, which is our cost per click, okay, now we're making a lot more money as a business. Okay? The next section are your deliverables. What work are you going to actually do? So I'm going to redesign the entire opt-in page and simplify it so that we get more conversions. I'm going to create a new angle that aligns with the advertisement, so the people that are coming across, it makes complete sense to them what in it for them on that page. I'm going to then rewrite the opt-in page copy to align with the ad and make it more compelling. And I'm going to rename and repackage the offer that's on there to get more people to opt in. That's going to increase the conversion rate to 30%. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that over a 3-month period so that we're going to continue to optimize it and tweak and test, A/B split test, in order to get the conversion rate to 30%. Because the first change that we make, we're going to give it a week and see what happens to the data. And then I'm going to know where to go and optimize it again to get it to that 30%. So this isn't just me writing it and saying, hey, here you go, good luck. This is me optimizing it and working through it with you to improve it to where it is that we want to get to. Okay? Then you put your pricing proposal in. If you are a good copywriter, you know that you price based on the value that you create. And you've got 4 different options depending on the level of risk that the client takes on. Okay? The lowest risk to the client is if you do a performance-based model, which is just percentage of sales made, but we don't want to do that, okay? Unless we know that sales will be made. The option with lower risk for the client is that they pay you a small upfront fee and then you get a higher percentage of sales. More risk to the client is a larger upfront fee with a small percentage of sales, and the most risk to the client is just an upfront fee, either paid in one installment or paid over multiple installments. Okay? What I've got here, and I'll do this because we're going to be working for 3 months. Okay? Option 1 is a $15,000 fee. Okay? $15K for me to do this over the next 3 months. 50% upfront, 50% on completion. The second option for them is $3K upfront, okay, for me to do the work over the 3 months. So it's about $1,000 a month. And I get 15% of sales for 3 months after completion. And option 3 is 7.5 upfront and 5% of sales. So higher upfront, lower percentage of sales. What this does is that this gives the client a choice depending on the risk that they want to take on, but you can also price these depending on which one you want to make more compelling and more enticing for the client. So for instance, if you want to get paid a percentage of the sales, then you give them a really nice, enticing, smaller upfront fee and then a higher percentage of sales over a period. So this gives the client a choice. It lets them feel like that they're in control a little bit. Okay? They're not, and they might come back and negotiate and be like, hey, what about a $10,000 upfront fee? And that's where you come back and you go, look, yeah, I can understand that, but if I'm generating an extra $60K for you per month, then in the first month that we hit that 30% conversion rate, you're already keeping an extra $80K. So 15%, 15,000 actually isn't that much, considering the improvements that we're going to see. And remember, I'm going to continue working until we hit that 30% conversion rate. Okay? So that is how you go through an offer doc. The key to it is you have to get the current data from the client that is specific to the marketing that they're doing and the asset that you're creating. So if you are working on emails for them, then you need the size, the current size of their email list, how many new members they're adding a week or a month, what their current open rate is and what their current click rate is, and then what their current closing rate on sales is and the price of what it is that they're offering. If it's a sales page, then it's how much traffic is coming to it, how many people are converting, and then what's your cost per sale. Okay, I like to break it down into months because it's easy to see. And if it's ads, then we go into what's your spend, how many clicks are you getting, what's the cost per click, what's your click-through rate, and then on the back end, whatever the selling mechanism is, how many book calls are you getting, what's the cost per book call, what's your close rate on that, how much are you selling it for, here's your revenue. If they're selling just on an opt-in page, again, how many people are going to it from the ads, what's the conversion rate there, how much are you selling it for, what's your revenue, and then you can pick and choose one data point, one key data point to say if we improve this to this level, this is what happens to your monthly and annual revenue. Okay? The reason these offer docs work so well is it visualizes the value that you're creating for the client. I cannot stress that enough. That gives you leverage. It gives you power to not have to justify why you're pricing what you are, why you're pricing these premium prices, because it's easy for the client to see. And then the risk, you take it on. I'm the copywriter. I am the expert at this. This is what I'm going to get you to. So what actually sells them is your conviction. It's your belief in yourself. I know how to do this, I can do it, and I'm going to do the work to get it there. So I'm not just going to do this and hand it off to you. I'm going to do it, put it in place, and then we're going to watch the data and I'm going to make tweaks and optimizations and improvements as we go. Okay? Simple. So thank you for joining me here on this video. If you enjoyed this, please like it, subscribe to the channel. 2 videos are going live every week on a Monday and on a Thursday. And if you would like a copy of this offer doc for yourself so that you can use it, make it your own for each individual client that comes in, that's the key. You just go through for each individual client, comment on the video for me, and I'll send you access to it. Once again, thank you for being here with me. I'm incredibly grateful for it. I'll see you on the next video.